Hey guys, I didn't want to have to do this. I didn't want it to come to this. Um, there's been something that's been going on that I've been letting go and letting go and letting go. And a lot of disturbing, really messed up things. And I just found something out that was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back for me. And I said, you know what? I need to defend myself, protect myself, and let the public know the real truth. Okay? The real truth, guys. So, without having to go into too much detail and bore you guys, a lot of you guys know what happened between an old friend of mine and a current friend of mine. Goran, or G, or as you know him as Paranormal Search, had recently had a huge falling out with James Dawson, or now known as the Manson Archives. That's the name of his channel now. So a lot of stuff went down between the two of them. Again, I'm not going to go into too much detail because there's so much to it, like so much to it. And if you guys want to know the details on James's end, you can go over to his channel. He uploaded 3 videos explaining his side of the story and on things that happened. I'll put the link to his channel down in the description of this video. You guys know that for the most part, I don't really do drama streams or drama videos. I don't really retaliate much unless something really, really, really bothers me or upsets me. All of this that's been going on for the past month and a half, has obviously upset me, but not to the point to where I'm like, okay, I need to go live. I need to make a video because, for the most part, it just wasn't worth it. It wasn't, because it's pardon my language, but fucking stupid. So back in January, when G was in Tennessee with James, G texted me. And for the record, before I get into anything, I would just like to say that I have proof of every single thing that I am about to tell you guys. So if you feel that you want to see proof of whatever I'm talking about, feel free to message me, because a lot of that proof I'm not going to put up publicly because, there are laws. There are laws out there that, you can't share certain things to the public. So I'm going to abide by those laws, unlike most other people, So, G texted me when he was in Tennessee, and he said to me, I have, some issues. I don't know who to go to. I don't know who to turn to. I don't know who to trust. And he said, but I trust you. And I said, okay. I said, there's never been a time where you've ever told me anything that I didn't say anything that I wasn't supposed to say. Because there was a lot of things that he confided in me and other people had confided in me that I did not repeat, because I am the type of person to where if I tell you I'm not going to repeat things, I'm not going to repeat things to a certain extent, which I will get to. So he told me that while he was living with James, he feared for his life, that James had a loaded gun in the house, that he was going to poison his food, that he was going to get him in the car and crash the car, all kinds of stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, this is kind of weird, because I've known James for 2 years, going on 2 years, guys. Next month in March will be 2 years that I've known James. I've known James a lot longer than G has known James. And I don't think G realized that for the longest time. So I was like, okay. So I thought it really weird because it didn't sound like James at all. James is like a teddy bear. He really is. He's like a gentle puppy. Again, I've known James a while, and for those of you who are judging James going by what G said, you don't even know, guys. You don't even know. Take it from somebody who's known him for a hell of a lot longer than G, okay? For like 1.5 years longer, okay? Because G's only known James for about 6 months now. I've known James for 2 years. So at the same time, I was like, okay, but if that's true, then you need to do something. You need to get out of there. You need to go home. You need to protect yourself. And I told G, I said, take some video footage, not pictures, G. I said video, as you're living your day-to-day life around the house, just in case you need it for protection. Did he do it? Absolutely not. No. He took a few pictures. He took a picture of the bathroom. He took a picture of fly strips hanging around the ceiling fan, claiming that James's house was dirty, which James sent me some pictures of his house, and the pictures that James sent me tell a different story. But even if his house was dirty, who gives a shit? It's nobody's business. Who cares? Seriously. That's not like the worst of your issues, okay? Like if his house was dirty, then you leave, you go home. You don't make up a big fuss and a whole bunch of lies saying that he's trying to kill you and all this and that, okay? Just saying. Those are some pretty serious accusations, guys. Those are very serious accusations. But I still didn't say anything to James. I still kept it under my hat. I didn't say anything to James. Nothing. And they went on their investigations. They went to Monroe House, and I forgot what the name of the other place was that they went to. Apparently, during one of those investigations, G told James that I said that James and Omar have plotted together to fake evidence. I mean, a lot of you guys know I'm very good friends with James, and I'm very good friends with Omar. But I never said that, G. So I would like to see proof on that, because I never said that. Lie number one. Lie number one of many lies that I'm about to talk about, guys. So many. Oh my God, so many lies. So they came back from their investigations, which both of them was complete bullshit, but I'm not going to get into it because those aren't my departments. That's for James to tell, okay? There is something about the Monroe House investigation, though, that involves me, which is the thing that really, drew me to the point of making this video. But I'll get into it, because there's so much, guys. So please bear with me. Please bear with me. And you can take my word for everything that I'm saying, or just don't. It's up to you, I really don't care. But I, again, need to defend myself. I need to let everybody know the truth on my end, because like Mr. G says, there's two sides to every story. So here's my side. So they get back from the investigations, days go by, and I haven't heard from James or G. So I texted G and I was like, hey, how are things going in Tennessee with you and James? Because I know last I heard everything was, you were fearing for your life, for crying out loud. And now I haven't heard anything. Like, how are things going? So he's like, Jenny, I'm back in Maryland. And I was like, oh, okay. Which, by the way, to get back to Maryland was a fucking shit show, because James paid a ton of money for G to get back to Maryland, and G never paid him back or even gave him the difference, because he ended up finding a different flight. But again, not my department. As far as going into detail on that, you're going to have to get that from James. So we were talking, and G said, well, we want to go back to the Monroe House, because apparently in the Monroe House, two men kidnapped a woman, forced her down into the basement, duct taped her to a chair, and sodomized her with sticks and things like that, which is absolutely terrifying and horrible and just disgusting. That poor woman, honestly. So G and I were talking, and he brought up to me about how him and James want to go back to the Monroe House, but they want me to join them. And I said, yeah, I would love to. That sounds good. I don't know when we'll be able to do it, when John will be able to get the time off of work, because as you guys know, John works a lot, and for him to get time off of work is very hard to do unless he has vacation time, which it's all used. It doesn't renew until May. So he said, well, I don't want John to come. John doesn't have to come. And I said, well, gee, John comes with me on every investigation. John comes with me everywhere. I can't travel without my husband. And I said, even if I was to want to come without my husband, I can't anyway, because how am I going to get around? I don't drive. So G was like, well, if he comes, he can sit and wait in the car. Guys, again, I have proof of this conversation. Okay, so if you want to sit there and be like, you're full of shit, Jenny, message me. Okay? And I thought to myself, well, that's weird. Like, why, number one, why would he not want John to come on the investigation? And number two, why does he have to sit in the car? I'm thinking to myself, that is so strange. So I even said to G, I said, well, G, I said, even if I wanted to come without John, I said, John would still not have a problem with that, because John has told me before that if I ever wanted to go on an investigation that he couldn't go on because he had to work, I could still go without him. He's like, he has said to me several times, I'll pay for your plane ticket. You can go on these investigations. I trust you. You shouldn't have to not experience these things because I can't get off of work and I can't go. And John's told me that several times. And even after him telling me that, I still wouldn't want to go without him. He's my husband, and I love him very much. He comes with me everywhere I go, as far as filming and investigating and things like that. I would want to experience that stuff with my husband. If I'm going to experience things like that, I want him to be with me to experience them as well. So anyways, I said, well, if I'm going to come, John's going to come with me. So we started looking up flight prices to see how much it would cost to go there. And I was like, well, these prices are wicked expensive right now. I'll look again in the future. I got a little flyaway here. Look at that. I'll look again in the future. And that was it. We dropped it. That was the whole conversation about me going to Monroe House. So I recently found out, like yesterday I found this out. Because I was talking to a friend of mine, and they were like, what's this shit I heard that G said that you want him to go to Monroe House, or he wants you, sorry, to go to Monroe House so that he can reenact what happened to that woman using you. I said, huh? What are you talking about? Because apparently on G's last live stream, he admitted that he wanted me to be the woman that poor woman, that everything that she went through with the guys in the basement and everything else. He wanted me to be that woman, and he can be the guys. He wanted to force me down into the basement, grab me by my arms, force me down into the basement, duct tape me to a chair, treat me like shit or whatever, to see if he can ignite something in the spirits that are down in that basement. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Are you serious right now? Because number one, she never told me that that's why he wanted me to go. Never, ever told me that that's why he wanted me to go. Okay? And when G said that on his live stream the other day, I didn't see it because I didn't watch it. The last 2 lives that G did, last 2-3 lives that he did, I didn't watch them. Because I don't give a shit. It's not worth it. He's not worth my time. It's not worth my view. I have better things to do, because I knew that those lives were going to be complete lies and bullshit. And they were. Even though I didn't watch the first one, I did watch the second one because of what I was told about him saying that he wanted to use me to reenact what happened to that poor woman. That is fucking awful, guys. That is some twisted, sick shit. Okay, and then I found out that he wanted to use some, and I'm not even gonna say it. It starts with a K and ends with a K. Some kind of robe. He wanted to wear this robe while doing that. Because what you wanted to do to me initially isn't creepy enough, right? So you have to up it by wearing that type of robe. I can't. Whenever I think about it, I want to throw up. It makes me sick to my fucking stomach. I want to throw up. That would have never have happened. Gee, never would that have happened. There's no way I would allow that to happen. And that explains why you kept telling me that you didn't want John to go, or if John was to go, that he could wait in the car. John would stomp your ass into the pavement if you tried to do something like that. Okay? And you know damn well that that's true. So that right there, guys, is the straw that broke the camel's back for me when I found this out yesterday. Okay? But there's more. He said in his live stream that he trusted me, which is why he came to me about the James situation, and that he trusted me and I had to go and run my mouth and all this other stuff. First of all, G. Oh, about how I sent him the voice messages that G sent me. I did not send James the voice messages. Those voice messages that James played came from his cameras in his house, because James has cameras in his house, as do I, as do many of you, as do a ton of people. It's for protection in case somebody breaks into your house, okay? It doesn't matter. Anybody can come into my house, and I don't have to tell them that I have cameras in my house, because it's in my house. My house. You're in my house. So I don't have to tell you shit. So as far as you saying, well, James can't film me under my consent, or if I don't give him consent, and even if I didn't have to give him consent, it's your responsibility to tell me when I go to your house, hey, by the way, I have cameras. No, it's not. Because you were in his house. He doesn't have to tell you shit. And those cameras are put there for his protection. So James heard you say all that stuff when you were voice messaging me. James didn't even know that you and I were talking. He heard you send those voice messages to somebody when he was reviewing his cameras. And that's where he got those voice clips from, not from me. So that is when James messaged me and said, hey, I was watching my cameras, going back on my cameras, and I heard G, talking into his phone. I seen him talking into his phone. So when I went to go listen to the audio, I heard him say this, this, and that, and he was talking to another female because I heard a female reply. He goes, and I have a feeling that female was you. And I said, yeah, I'm not going to lie, because I'm not one to lie. I'm not going to tell him, no, it wasn't me, when it was me. It was me that G was talking to. So when I replied in voice message as well, and G was playing it, and James heard it on the cameras when he went back to review the footage. So as far as you saying that I sent James the voice messages that you sent me, no, I didn't. That was the shit that he heard from the cameras when you were talking to me, sending me voice messages. So your assumption on that was bullshit. Also, you want to sit there and tell me that I'm the only person that you said any of this stuff to. That's a fucking lie, because you told other people, and there's proof that you told other people. So who's to say that those other people are also going to James and telling James things? Because I didn't say a goddamn thing to James until after the fact. Until after I found out about all these lies. Until after I found out that he knew that it was me that you were talking to. That is when I started coming out to James and telling James things that were being said. Because not only was it because he already basically knew, but again, you were making some very crazy, very serious accusations against somebody who is a good friend of mine. if the tables were turned, you would want me to come to you and tell you what that person was saying about you, would you not? So as far as you saying, well, I trusted you, you told him that this, you told him that, you sent him this, you sent him that. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Not until way after the fact, because here everything was already out in the open. So you were wrong on that one too. You want to say that I'm mad over something that a certain individual said months ago that I can't let go or I can't drop it. That certain individual, ladies and gentlemen, is Jamie. Okay? He was referring to the fact that she went around telling a bunch of lies about me. A ton of lies. Saying that I was laying out in the sun half naked, showing my body, and then all of a sudden I pointed my camera to a turtle in my yard, and that I sent that to G. The funny thing is that I was sitting on my front swing, drinking coffee, reading a book. I had my legs reclined. I had them up on the swing because I was laying back reading a book. You see the bottom of my legs and my feet in the video. That's it. You can see that I'm wearing pants, leggings that go all the way to my ankles, flip-flops, and I turned my camera over to the turtle because I thought it was funny that I'm just chilling outside on my front swing, drinking a coffee, reading my book, and then all of a sudden I look down and boom, there's a turtle in my driveway 1 foot away from where I was sitting, and it was a huge ass turtle. So she twisted the shit out of that. Either she twisted it or G lied to her and told her that I sent him a video of me laying half naked in the sun, showing off my body, and then showed a turtle. So one of them was lying. Which one, I don't know, but the fact of the matter is that it was a lie, okay? I still have the video, okay? I still have the video. Here it is. Not only did I send that video to G, but I sent it to my husband, I sent it to my mother, I sent it to several other friends because I just thought it was amusing and funny that I was just reading a book and boom, there's a turtle. Thought it was funny, so I recorded it. You can clearly see that there's a coffee in my hand. Again, you can clearly see that I'm wearing leggings. You can only see the bottom of my legs and my feet. So nice try on that one. He says that I can't let that go. I can't drop it because it was said months ago. First of all, yeah, it was said about 3-4 months ago, maybe a little less. But I can't drop it and I won't let it go because I'm literally just finding out about all of this. Literally just finding out about all of these lies that were told about me. Another thing too is I'm really sorry to disappoint y'all, but I do not have an OnlyFans account. I don't. That's another lie that was told by Jamie to a whole bunch of people. Whether G started that lie by telling Jamie and then Jamie relayed it to a bunch of people, or if Jamie made up that lie, I don't know. But it's not true. I have too much pride in myself to have an OnlyFans account, and I'm going to be honest with you guys right now. I hate my body. Okay? A lot of you might say to me, Jenny, you're skinny, you're beautiful, blah, blah, blah. No. Okay? I weigh 140 pounds. I had 3 children. I have stretch marks. I have cellulite. I have a belly pouch. I hate my fucking body. Okay? I am very insecure about my body. I do not have an OnlyFans account. Okay? That's the last thing I would want to do. I'm too insecure for something like that. So for them to, or her, them, whatever, to spread lies around to people saying that I have an OnlyFans account, you can kiss my ass, because that's not true. Not true. When everybody was in Tennessee to do the Old South Pittsburgh Hospital investigation, a lot of you know that John and I were supposed to be there, but we couldn't attend, unfortunately, because of Hurricane Ian. Hurricane Ian came through 1 week before we were supposed to be in Tennessee. It came through 5 days before we were supposed to leave to go to Tennessee. We lost power. We lost internet. everything was destroyed. I mean, our house wasn't destroyed, thank God. Thank God. But there was a lot of cleanup that had to be done. We didn't have power for like 8 days, so I wasn't about to leave my teenage daughter home by herself without power, without electricity. There's just no way. That's not what a good parent does. I'm sorry. So we canceled our trip, even though it was already paid for. We paid our portion for the hospital, which was $153. We had a hotel booked. Luckily, the hotel did reimburse us the money. But it took ages and ages and ages to get reimbursed the money for what we paid for the hospital, which I'll get into in a minute. Come to find out, Jamie nor G didn't pay a single penny for that investigation. Between Foxy and James, they paid for Jamie and G. Not going to get into details, but if you want to know the details, message me and I'll be happy to give them to you. As far as the live stream that we did back in September, I believe, for JMac, because JMac was having issues with another YouTuber, and that other YouTuber was taking JMac to court. So JMac had to shell out a shit ton of money for an attorney, and we all felt bad for him because we knew that JMac was innocent in the situation. So I came up with the idea, again, I have proof that I came up with this idea, to do a live stream to raise money for JMac so that he could at least get some of that money back that he spent for his attorney, spent on the attorney, because we felt horrible for him. He didn't deserve that. I brought it to G's attention and I said, hey, I want to do a live stream for JMac and raise some money for him because, you know, he just lost a lot of money on having to pay this attorney and stuff. So G thought it was a great idea. He's like, oh, I'll go make the thumbnail. And I was like, wait a minute, you're going to make the thumbnail, huh? And he was like, oh, I thought we were going to have it on my channel. First of all, why are we going to have it on your channel when I'm the one who came up with the idea? Does that make sense to you? Somebody told me later on that the reason why he wanted to have it on his channel was because he gets more views on his live streams than I do. While that might be true, only sometimes does he get more views than I do on his live streams. And the only reason he gets more views than I do on some of his live streams is because he does drama streams. Everybody knows that drama streams get a ton of views because people love fucking drama. Plain and simple. But I was going through a lot at the time and I said, you know what? I'm not going to argue with him. I'm not going to deal with the stress of it, you know, and I said, all right, fine, go ahead, do it on your channel. So he did. I was on panel. My husband was on panel. James Dawson was on panel. JMac was on panel. Emmy was on panel. I believe Joker was on panel. And then G, of course, because it was on G's channel. I announced during a live stream, which, by the way, that live stream has since been deleted by G. And we know why. He wants to say it was because Joker was in it, but that's not true. That's not true. I had announced several times during that live stream to the people in chat that all donations to the PayPal account, Emmy's PayPal account, super chats and super stickers that were sent were all going to be donated to JMac. So everybody in that chat knew that that's where that money was going. Super stickers and super chats would obviously go into G's account first because it was on his channel, and then it was G's responsibility to send that money over to JMac. Guys, it's been 5 months since we've done that live stream. JMac still hasn't seen that money. G hasn't sent him a penny. G kept that money for himself. G spent that money. And it wasn't his to spend. It didn't belong to him. We got into a huge fight about it. me and G and Jamie got into a huge altercation, whatever, argument, whatever. He still hasn't sent him the money. And then he says, well, I don't know how much it was. I don't know how much I owe him. Well, there are ways that you can go back in your analytics and look up donations or super chats, super stickers, and things that you received on each live stream. Each one. Go into if you're monetized, go into your analytics, go into your YouTube studio, go to earn. On the side it says earn. Go there. Up at the top it says supers. Click that. And then it shows a list, but it only shows a limited list. So underneath that you have to click see more or see all. You click that and you can scroll down and it shows on the side the dates. It shows the icon for, or the thumbnail for that specific live stream, and it shows all of the super chats and super stickers and who sent them, the amount, and everything. There are ways to go back and see what you got, okay? So he's trying to say he didn't know how much it was, blah, blah, blah. But before he deleted that live stream, I went and rewatched it because the chat, after a certain amount of time, the chat, you can read the chat, like the replay of the chat. So I went back and I watched it and I counted $362 was raised for JMac in super chats and super stickers. $362 that G kept for himself, never sent to JMac. That's fucked up. And why it upset me so much is because that was my idea to do that for JMac. Had that have taken place on my channel like it should have, and I was an idiot for not allowing it to because I just said, okay, hey, whatever, G, take over and do it on your channel. Had it taken place on my channel, and JMac would have had that money the second I got paid that month on the 21st. Because that's when YouTube pays you, every month on the 21st. So I felt so bad for JMac. I was pissed. I'm still pissed. That's awful. You stole that money from JMac. Stole it. Straight up stole it. Because it wasn't your money to spend. People were donating that money to JMac. When they donated that money, they had it in their minds that that was going to JMac, not to you. So there's that. After a while, I just dropped it. I let it go. I was like, whatever, JMac's never getting his money. Because anytime G ever borrows money from people or asks for donations or anything, none of those people ever see a penny of that money back. Which brings me back to when John and I paid the $153 for the old South Pittsburgh Hospital investigation. Jamie actually was supposed to pay me back. Jamie said that she was going to be the one to pay me back because we all sent that money to her PayPal account when we sent her the money to pay for the investigation. She never paid me back. Literally like 3-4 weeks ago, I finally got paid back, guys. And we paid this at the beginning of September. So again, 5 months goes by. I didn't get paid back. Because we didn't get to go because of the hurricane. So we paid for an investigation that we didn't get to go on. So not only did me and John, but tons of other people felt that we deserved to have that money back. And we weren't getting paid back. So finally, when G was in Tennessee a month ago, 3-4 weeks ago, I get a notification in my PayPal account saying that I was refunded, or I was paid $153 from G's PayPal account. I said, holy shit. G paid me back. Oh my God. I was shocked. He even sent me a message, love you, Jenny. So I texted him and I was like, thank you so much. Oh my God, you have no idea, because we kind of really need this right now with the holidays and stuff. Christmas really broke us because we have 3 kids. We have family, and I said, we could really use this right now. Thank you so, so much. And he said, you're welcome, blah, blah, blah. Making me think the money came from him. Well, I find out later on that that money actually came from James. Because James kept saying to G, you need to pay back Jenny and John. You need to pay back Jenny and John. They are owed that money. They are entitled to get that money. And G said, well, I don't have the money to pay them because we have these investigations coming up. So James finally said, you know what? I'm going to send the money to your PayPal account so that you can send it to Jenny and John. That money came from James. So James, Thank you so much, even though that was not your responsibility to send me back that money, because not only was G in charge of that investigation, but G and Jamie didn't pay a single red cent to go on that investigation because Foxy and James, what they paid, covered Jamie and G. So it was their responsibility to pay us back, not yours, James. But again, thank you very much for that you didn't have to do that. And that was very, very, very considerate of you, because you are a considerate person. So when everybody was in Tennessee, right before the Old South Pittsburgh Hospital investigation, I want to say October 5th, because the investigation was supposed to take place on October 6th. So I think it was the day before the investigation. James, Jamie, Jamie's mother, and G were all at a restaurant eating. And G got up. He went to step outside to smoke a cigarette. And that's when Jamie started talking all kinds of shit about me. All kinds of shit. Saying that G didn't even want me to go to Tennessee because I started bossing him around and I was being a bitch and just being bossy and all this other stuff. But I have proof in a text that G told me that out of all of the things that he was excited about as far as going to Tennessee for that investigation, the one that he was most excited about was meeting me and how he could not wait to give me a big hug and everything else. And number two, I wasn't bossy at all. In fact, John and I were trying to figure out how G was sitting there telling me, well, this is the plan. This is what we're going to do for the investigation. This is how we're going to do it, blah, blah, blah. And me and John would sit there a couple times and say, how does he have the right to sit there and tell us how we're going to investigate and how this investigation is going to run when we paid to go on this investigation? I'm going to investigate the way I want to investigate, not how you want me to investigate. So if anybody was being bossy, it was G. Okay? That's when she also told James that I was up at all hours of the night texting and calling G. This is the funny part, because that's not true either. And I'll tell you why. I sleep at night, people. Unlike G, who stays up all night and is fucking nocturnal and sleeps all day and has no life, I sleep at night. G is the one who was texting me at all hours of the night, and he would say in the text, well, I know you're probably sleeping, so you'll see this when you wake up. Okay, he was the one who was up all night. I was the one who was sleeping. So if anybody was texting someone all night, it was him texting me. And I wouldn't see that shit until I got up the next morning. And G, you know that's true. The only time I would stay up all night for G was when he was on a live investigation, because he would be live until 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. And I would stay up until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning watching his investigations until I passed out because I couldn't stay awake anymore. That was the only time I would stay up late for G. So, Jamie, you fucking lied again. I can't even. And apparently that's when her mother, because her mother was sitting there at the restaurant with him, and she said, well, that's your boyfriend. Why don't you say something to Jenny? She never said anything to me. You know why? Because she knows it wasn't true. How are you going to go to somebody when you know that that's not true and be like, why are you up at all hours of the night calling and texting my boyfriend? And I would be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, that's not true, and you know that's not true. So, there's that. I also want to address something that G said in his last live stream about Pearl, saying that we were jealous and that we wanted to be him because Pearl was his highest tier member, and that she was super chatting him all the time. First of all, I'm going to say this. I don't want to be you. I don't want to be a loser who has no life, who has no money, who has no job, who is just a miserable, sorry excuse for a person, who plays multiple women at the same time, who does nothing but lie. You're a pitiful loser of a person. Why would I be jealous of that? and I'm not putting myself on a pedestal or anything, but I have a great life. I love my life. I'm not going to be jealous of somebody like you. No way in hell am I going to be jealous of somebody like you. You've got to be kidding me. That is like the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. You only had two members, two of the highest members. What was it, like $32 a month, $36 a month? They're both gone now. They both pulled their memberships. You no longer even have them as subscribers. They left your ass because of all the recent stuff. I don't need super chats and super stickers because as much as I love to receive them, because it shows me that my audience appreciates me and feels that I deserve a reward for the content that I put out. It is a great feeling when you get a super chat or a super sticker, but my husband makes excellent money at his job. I run 2 businesses from home I make good money from. I don't need that money. I know you do, but I don't. So if I do a live stream or a video or a premiere or whatever, and I don't get any super chats or super stickers, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't even dawn on me that I didn't even get any because I don't expect them like you do. You've literally admitted to me before that the only reason why you do live streams is because of the super chats and the super stickers. Not to give your audience content, which is what it's all about, what it's supposed to be all about, but because you're all in it for the money. You always have been. You have cheated so many people out of money. It's not even funny, and I'm not even going to get into it. There's so much to that. It's not even worth it. It's not even worth it. I don't want to be you. There's no way in hell I want to be you. I've had people come to me telling me that Jamie makes up all these lies, but I didn't even know that Jamie had an issue with me. I didn't even know that she had it out for me. I was always extremely nice to her. And by the way, when I messaged you about 2-3 weeks ago, bitching you out about the fact that she's going around telling people that I was sending you a video of me laying half naked in the sun, and I told you, I said, you know that's not true. And I even sent you the video again. And I said, this is the video she's referring to? I said, gee, you know I've never sent you a video like that because I've always looked at you as like a little brother. You are 28 years old and I am 42 years old. There is no way in hell that I would ever, even if I wasn't married. If I was single, no thank you. I prefer somebody around my own age because you, to me, are like a child. You're 28. Okay, you are only 6 years older than my oldest daughter. You are literally a child in my eyes. And that's why I've always said to you, I look at you like as if you were a little brother, because you remind me of my brother as far as personality goes. I have never in any way, shape, or form been attracted to you. No, thank you. And again, like I told you in that voice message I sent you, and not to sound mean or hurt your feelings, but I don't think you're attractive. I don't think you're ugly, but I don't think you're attractive. You're not my type. No, not at all. So, you can keep talking your shit. You can keep thinking what you want to think and spread all the lies you want to spread, Jamie. Because none of that shit is true. People have been coming to me telling me, well, she tells this lie about you and says this about you and says that about you because she's jealous of you. What is there to be jealous of? You know, and this is going to sound horrible, but people say, well, it's because, Jenny, look at you. You're a beautiful woman and she's doggy looking. And that's what people have actually said. Like, people have talked about, like, her teeth, how they're rotten little nubs, and just like the fact that she's very unattractive. And that's not coming from my mouth. That's coming from other people's mouths. I would never say anything like that from my perspective, even though what I think doesn't matter. But even if that's the case, that is no reason to be jealous of somebody. No reason at all. You can be a decent human being because I was always nice to you, and you could have returned the favor by being nice back. There's no reason to be jealous of anybody for any reason. No reason at all. You both are pathological liars. You're narcissists. You are con artists. You are thieves. It's horrible. And back to what I was saying about when I blew up on G a few weeks ago by telling him that you know for a fact that I never sent you a video like that, that Jamie's going around telling people about me laying half naked in the sun and then showing the turtle. G even said to me, and I have proof, that he goes, I thought of you as a little sister too. He goes, and I know that's not true. He goes, I will clear it up. Basically saying that he will tell Jamie that, no, Jenny has never sent me such video. So G knows himself that that's not true, that I've never sent a video like that. This is all just crazy ridiculous. It really is. Also, I'd like to address too that Jamie was also, so Foxy, I don't really know her too well. I've talked to her a couple times. I always thought she was a nice person, but she ended up blocking me because apparently Jamie told Foxy that I told Jamie that Foxy had a problem with James. Never said it. Where's the proof? Never said it. I never even spoke to Jamie on a one-on-one thing. Anytime I ever spoke to Jamie, like G was involved, like I've never, like Jamie and I weren't friends like that to where we would just talk. Like I've never spoken to Jamie like that. And I never said that. There's another lie. You know, which brings me to another person that I barely even know this person, and I don't even know why I would have, you know, why I should bring this person up. I shouldn't have to because I barely know this person, but it has to do with all of this. Isabel. A lot of you know her. She is Isabel Vlada something. I can't think of her last name. I don't really know her. I never really spoken to her. She's part of the Villains chat crew. And back when G did that drunken live stream and was going off like a maniac, we were in one of the Villains chats, and no, it wasn't the one with the NDA. And as a matter of fact, this chat took place before the NDA was even put into place. We were talking about how, you know, crazy G was in his live stream, and we were talking about a lot of things that were going on and stuff, and I was pissed. I was upset because a lot of shit was going on behind the scenes that a lot of you didn't know about, which I'm revealing to you today. And I was venting. I was very upset, and I had every right to be. So of course I was talking about shit that I was pissed off about when it came to G. And a few weeks later, G had Isabel up on his panel, and she mentioned my name. And she said, well, are you and Jenny friends? And G was like, well, why would you ask that question? And she said, well, has she been being friendly to you? And G was like, why? And Isabel was like, well, if you would have heard some of the things that Jenny said about you, you wouldn't want to talk to her or something like that. So I was like, you don't even know what you're talking about, Isabel. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to disrespect you or anything, but you have no idea what you're even talking about because you have no idea what I was going through with G at that time, which a lot of it I just revealed to you guys. So I was pissed, and I was venting, and I was talking about the situation, as were many other people in that chat. So for you to make me look like a bad guy when you didn't even know what was going on, you didn't even know why I was so upset. That's when I texted Isabel and I said, please keep my name out of your mouth because you have no idea what you're even talking about. You have no clue. Please do not talk about me because you don't even know. And she responded back very snooty, asked me to never message her again. And I said, that's fine with me because it seems like you are filled with drama and I don't want to be part of that. Fine. That's fine. So I blocked her. I think she blocked me. Which led to two other people that I was friends with block me, which it's whatever. You know, one of them upsets me because I was friends with this person for a while. Hell, I'm just going to say it. Carl, Crypto Noob. You guys know him as Crypto Noob. He's been friends with me and John for a couple of years now, and he just dropped me like a bad habit because of all this bullshit, which I'm innocent in. I was dealing with a lot of shit, and I had every right to be upset. And as far as all the stuff that Jamie was telling all these people in these chats were lies. So, you know, I wanted to get that part cleared up as well. And G, as far as you also saying on your live stream that, you know, oh, you say you have heart problems and heart issues and you don't want to be part of it. And you say that, you know, you tell me that, you know, you don't want to be part of it anymore. And he's right. I did tell him that because number one, he is the person who dragged me into it all. I didn't include myself into any of that. He came to me and said, I need to talk to somebody, this, and that. I fear for my life, all this stuff. I mean, there was so much said, guys, so much said. I didn't even tell you guys. I only told you guys maybe 15% of it. That's how much there was. And then after a while, when I realized that shit was hitting the fan, that's when I told you, I said, I don't want to be part of it. I can't deal with this. My anxiety is going to cause me to have, you know, more heart issues, which I do have heart issues. I have weak heart muscles. So I have almost every day I deal with PVCs, which are premature ventricular contractions. It's where your heart literally stops beating for 1 to 1.5 seconds, and then it picks up again and it booms back because it shoots the blood out that was stored in the heart while the heart stopped beating for a very short amount of time. And heart palpitations, very bad. I have to go through testing and stuff like that. We think I might have AFib. I've been terrified to see a cardiologist because I don't want to know what's going on because I'm just terrified to find out. But I do know that I have weak heart muscles and I do have heart issues. And when I deal with stressful situations and I get anxiety, my palpitations and my PVCs increase. And I don't want to deal with it because it's scary. I mean, there's a risk that I could go into cardiac arrest. But he was like, you know, so I told you that I wasn't going to bring you into it anymore because I know you have heart issues. He said, but you can go into Emmy's chat and run your mouth and say this and say that. Hell yes, I did. And do you know why? Because of all of this. Because it got to the point where I needed to defend myself because of shit you and your girlfriend were saying. I'm not going to sit back and just let you guys talk shit about me and make up lies about me and all this other shit. Are you kidding me right now? You think I'm just going to let you guys talk your shit and I'm not going to say nothing? That is why I said the shit I said in Emmy's chat, because I was pissed over the things that I was finding out at that time. So the fact that I couldn't drop it or couldn't let it go, I'm not going to drop or let go any of that, especially considering that I'm just now finding all of this stuff out. And considering that I'm finding out that so many people have heard about these lies and I didn't even know that they were being told. That's crazy. I'm not going to drop it. I'm not going to let it go. And hell's yes, I'm going to talk and defend myself because I have every right to. I was pissed. I was hurt. You got to be kidding me right now. That's crazy. So yeah, I'm gonna talk shit, not talk shit, but speak up in Emmy's chat and get involved because it was to the point to where I needed to protect myself and defend myself because I was just finding all of this shit out that I didn't know before. But apparently everybody else knew. Everybody else knew about all these lies, that I have an OnlyFans account, that I'm sending half-naked pictures to you, and that I'm this bossy, bitchy person that you didn't even want to have around, yet here you're messaging me, sending me voice messages, texting me, all hours of the day, all hours of the night. You were the one, not me, you. So you guys need to reevaluate your shit. And I'm going to leave you guys with this final thing. Should I say this? Probably not, but I'm going to, because so many of you have been fooled. And they're probably going to retaliate and come back and say some shit about it when I say this, which is fine. Because another thing I'll say is that when G messages me, when G brings me up in a live stream to talk shit about me or lie about me or whatever, my subscribers don't go down. They go up. Like the last 2 times he went live, I gained like 8 subscribers. Not that I'm bragging, because I don't care. But a lot of people have come to realize that he is full of shit, and they come over and they stand on my side, not his. So when he does retaliate with what I'm about to say, people are going to see what he says, and they're going to be like, well, I need to go over and see what this Jenny Love person was talking about. And then they're going to come over here and they're going to watch this video and see what I have to say. And who do you think they're going to believe? So please, retaliate. Send people over to see this video. I wish you would. But, guys, Jamie was never pregnant. And I'll tell you how I know. I was able to obtain medical documentation, real medical documentation, by doing a lot of research and knowing people in the medical field, that Jamie had her tubes not tied, but cut 5 years ago. Facts, guys. 5 years ago, Jamie had her tubes cut. And the only way that she could get pregnant is if she was to have surgery to reverse that. No such surgery has taken place. Her and G both lied to people for money. Money. Because that's all they're ever after is money. They take money from people. People pay for this for them. People pay for that for them. They pay for plane tickets. They pay for meals. They pay for investigations. They pay for all this stuff. Nobody ever sees a penny of that back. Nobody. They donate money because they feel bad because they need to get home from Tennessee to Maryland when here G got paid the very next day by YouTube. They did a live stream on the 20th of October to get back home to Maryland from Tennessee, and G got paid by YouTube on the 21st. Oh, I did that because I don't have a bank in Tennessee. My bank's not in Tennessee. You don't have a debit card, motherfucker? Everybody has a debit card. It's 2023. Everybody has a debit card. Don't feed me that bullshit. You did it because you wanted money from people. Then come to find out, because he was telling people that they needed to raise money to get back from Tennessee to Maryland because they had to rent a car. Come to find out, he told you, I don't know if it's true, but I have proof in a text that he told James that the company of the truck that hit them during the accident paid for their rental car to get back home. So what'd you need the money for? I have proof that he sent that he texted that to James. But here he's telling all of y'all that he needs money to rent a car to get home. That live stream has also since been taken down. But I do have proof in a text that he told me that they raised like $416 or something during that live stream. They get home. Guess what they did right after they got home? They booked an investigation. I wonder where they got the money to do that. Lies on top of lies on top of lies on top of lies. For months now. So about the medical document that I was able to obtain about Jamie getting her tubes cut, unfortunately, and this really sucks, but I can't legally distribute that to the public because I can get in trouble. I can legally obtain it, but I can't distribute it. I can't show it. Take my word for it, don't take my word for it, whatever. We also have proof in a text from Jamie's husband, her husband in New Hampshire, stating that she had her tubes cut 5 years ago. We have that text. We have copies of it. I'm not going to release it. If somebody else wants to release it, they can. The other couple people that have that text. He even said in the text that she had her tubes cut five years ago and that her and G both lied about the pregnancy to get money. So we have multiple forms of proof that Jamie was never pregnant, y'all. And I knew she was full of it from the beginning. I just didn't, it's like whatever. It's like one of those things where you're like, I know they're full of shit, but it's not my life. It's not my problem, whatever. But when you want to drag me into your shit and make me part of your shit and then blame me for your shit and then talk shit about me and make up lies about me and everything else, that is when I make it my problem. Like right now, because that's why I'm addressing it. So there's probably a couple other things that I wanted to address that I'm not remembering, because there, like I said, guys, there is so much. It's not even funny. Like, there is so much. But I was forced to finally make this video because I needed to defend myself because of how much there was. I needed to set the record straight on a lot of lies that were told and tell my side of the story and tell the actual truth on what happened. And again, gee, if you want to go live and retaliate and look like a fool yet again and lose more supporters yet again, because let's be honest, probably about 50 to 60% of your subscribers came from me, because when I met you, you only had 900 subscribers. And that was almost a year ago, I think, that I met you. And now you're up to, I don't know, what is it, 1,600 or something like that. But a lot of the subscribers that were subscribed to me also subscribed to you, because I shared you out a lot. I promoted your channel twice. A lot of the subscribers that are subscribed to me that are also subscribed to you are very fond of me, and I'm very fond of them, and they know that I'm not going to lie to them, and they know what type of person I am. They know that I'm an honest, good human being, and they're all starting to see what type of human being you are. So whose side do you think they're going to take? The only people that you have left are subscribers that subscribed to you a long time ago that are probably no longer on that same YouTube account. The very few, very small handful that you have left that you literally have brainwashed and fooled. And the ones that you paid for. Even though you want to deny it and say, oh, I can prove that my bank account's in the negative, I didn't pay for subscribers. We have proof that you went to somebody's channel, a certain channel, and super chatted them so that they can promote your channel into getting more subs, which is the same thing as purchasing subs. We also went to your Social Blade account and noticed that you gained like tons of subscribers in a very short amount of time when you weren't even putting out any content. What does that say? You think people are stupid or something? Seriously? You think people are stupid? If you want to buy a subscriber, or not just so much buy subscribers, but pay to get subscribers, that's fine. That's your business. That's your life. But don't fucking lie about it. Be honest. Be like, yeah, whatever, I paid for subscribers. But this is also you saying to everybody over the past couple of months that you no longer give a shit about subscribers, that you no longer give a shit about likes and views and subs. If that's the case, why are you paying to get them? Just saying. Because you're in competition with people, and you always have been. And you want to talk about us wanting to be you? That's funny, because when I started doing giveaways, guess what you started doing? You started doing giveaways. When I started doing channel promotions, guess what you started doing? You started doing channel promotions. You were using Joker's intros for all of your live streams. You were getting gloves and you were putting them on, like really slowly looking at the camera like Joker did. Everything that you do is copying other people. You can never be original and just do you. You always have to copy other people. It's friggin' hilarious. It's hilarious. And we want to be like you. Oh my dear God. Anyways, guys. Again, I just had to do it. I had to cover my ass, defend myself, put the truth out there, and tell my side of the story. Again, take it how you take it. Believe me, don't believe me, I don't care. But it's out there. So thank you guys for listening, and I hope you guys have a great weekend this weekend. Hopefully we see you on Saturday for the 6-hour marathon live investigation, excuse me, that we're doing the 6 cemeteries. Hopefully we're doing it Saturday. We were supposed to do it last Saturday, but we had to postpone it because we had really bad weather. It was rainy, it was windy. So I had to postpone it to this Saturday, which is the 18th, but now we're finding out that John might have to work. If that's the case, we're going to have to postpone it again to next Saturday. But if we do, we know we're safe because we know for a fact that John won't have to work next Saturday. So we will let you guys know. Either way, whether it happens this Saturday or next Saturday, it's going to happen. We're very excited about it. And just so you guys know, the reason why I put this video on my vlog channel and not my paranormal channel is because bullshit and drama does not belong on my paranormal channel. My paranormal channel is strictly for that, paranormal. And I'm going to keep it that way. So, you know, this is my vlog channel. This is where I talk about anything and everything. So that's why I put it on this channel. So anyways, guys, thank you for listening. John and I love you guys very much. Don't believe the bullshit. Don't believe the lies. Don't get sucked into the crap. Y'all are better than that. You really are. So just keep that in mind, all right? Have a good one, guys.